Armin stood at the base of the mountain, staring at its towering peaks that vanished into the clouds. His friends were already halfway up the trail, their laughter echoing through the crisp morning air. For them, this was just another weekend hike, but for Armin, it was a test of something deeper. He had lived much of his life in the shadow of doubt. Every time he tried something new, a voice inside whispered, "You can't do it. You're not strong enough. You'll fail." That voice had silenced him in classrooms, held him back from applying for jobs, and even stopped him from expressing his feelings to people he cared about. Today, though, staring at the mountain, he felt the same voice rise, but he clenched his fists. Not this time. He adjusted his backpack and began climbing. The first stretch of the trail was gentle, with sunbeams streaming through tall pine trees. His steps were steady at first, but soon the slope steepened. His breath grew heavy, his legs trembled, and every cell in his body screamed for him to stop. A memory flashed in his mind, the time he froze during a school debate, his voice cracking as the audience laughed. Another, the job interview where he couldn't look the panel in the eye. Failure had left scars on his confidence. Each misstep on the rocky trail seemed to echo those moments. But then, another memory surfaced, his grandmother's words. She used to tell him, "The mountain outside is nothing compared to the mountain inside. Conquer yourself first, and no peak will be too high." Armin paused, leaning against a boulder, catching his breath. The mountain inside, he thought. It wasn't the trail that was defeating him, it was the fear within. With renewed determination, he took another step. And another. The path became harsher, the wind colder, but something inside him shifted. He stopped focusing on how far he had to go and began celebrating each small step forward. Halfway up, his friends noticed he was still climbing. They cheered, surprised, because Armin was the one who usually gave up. Their encouragement fueled him, but more than that, it showed him something important. Confidence wasn't about proving yourself to others, it was about proving to yourself that you could. Hours passed. Sweat drenched his back, his knees ached, and at one point, he stumbled so hard he almost rolled back down. The voice inside returned, "You're not cut out for this. Turn back." But Armin looked at how far he'd already come. The village below was now a distant speck. He realized something powerful. Failure wasn't in falling or stumbling, failure was in not trying at all. With that thought, he pressed on. Step by step, breath by breath, he moved higher until finally, the path opened to the summit. There it was, the view he had only seen in pictures. The world stretched endlessly in every direction, the sky painted with streaks of orange and gold as the sun began to set. The air was thin, but his chest swelled, not just with oxygen but with pride. Armin stood tall, his heart racing, his eyes wide with wonder. He had done it. Not just climbed the mountain, but silenced the voice that had chained him for years. His friends gathered around, clapping him on the back, but their words faded into the background. The real applause came from within, from a soul that had long waited to be free. For the first time, Armin realized that confidence isn't about never feeling fear. It's about walking forward despite it. It's about believing in yourself enough to take that first step, even if your legs shake. That night, as he sat by the campfire at the mountain's base, he whispered to himself, "If I can climb this, I can face anything." The next day, Armin carried that truth into his life. He spoke up in meetings at work, knowing his ideas mattered. He applied for opportunities that once terrified him. He even began helping others who struggled with self-doubt, reminding them, "The mountain is never outside, it's inside. Once you climb that, the world opens up." And so, a young man who once feared his own shadow became a source of light for others, all because he chose to keep climbing when the voice of doubt told him to stop.